The filming of the dancing trucks was another huge day. I say huge, massive, monumental. It's something that I never thought we'd actually get to achieve either, but it was magnificent. From the get-go, I had this vision that part of the region we had all of the people, everyone had to be represented, and because truck drivers in Taranaki are a huge part of our community, so we set up. I found us a truck yard that we could use. We actually used toll, and once I'd secured that one, I knew that we'd got somewhere we could actually do the dancing trucks. Now, the actual dancing of the trucks, I had no comprehension of what Carolyn had in her head or Ed had in his. And together they'd put up this brilliant plan. And in all fairness, I give all kudos to Carolyn and Ed here, because the vision they had for the trucks was something I hadn't even imagined or dreamt we could do, especially with the coordination of it all. I mean, how do you coordinate some big rigs like that, because they're a huge piece of machinery to get dancing. So once we'd secured the toll yard and we'd got the date set, the weather didn't play fair. It would have been lovely if it was a nice sunny day, but instead we had a nice cold, wet, windy. It was probably one of the coldest days we'd filmed on, apart from at the lighthouse. That was cold. But yeah, we went a majority of the team all turned up that day. You'll see us all in our pink jackets. There's lots of us. And we went down there and we coordinated and hung out with truck drivers for the day, which was another big day of learning about how the people here all work together, because you don't necessarily comprehend when you first start how people can just get on. And we had a task at hand, and you've got these big burly truck drivers now after our burly bikers, and they're all hanging out and getting ready to dance in their rigs. So the way they communicate between all of their rigs when they were up there was they all had their CB radios on. We didn't have a CB. We actually just had Carolyn and Ed up the front, and Carolyn with a yellow high-vis jacket that she was using as her marker to wave from this high platform. You can see her here. She's going through how she can see all of them dancing together, moving backwards and forwards, and you can see the truck drivers all laughing at her. I don't actually think they knew how good this was going to turn up, but they're all game on. One of the things that people, again, don't understand is with the donations in kind, these rigs are worth thousands, and to pull them off the roads and actually have some turn up for us dancing, and I mean, this is a whole workforce here. Some of them possibly were all being paid to come and do this by the owners. So the donation in kind was massive. What people don't understand is this is just a small amount of the trucks. We had about another 20 trucks that we couldn't fit onto the yard to do the dancing. So those truck drivers, unfortunately, were all left out. We tried to get them in. I know Ed tried to get them in with the slamming of doors and seeing if we can get it coordinated. But obviously the timing of the video, 3 minutes 50 or whatever, we didn't have the length in the song to cut it all into the video. One of the key factors in the success of this was each one of us basically took part of a project that we really wanted to be involved in. And this one I can give all the credit to Tracy, because we had all of the truck drivers turning up because she happened to be, she either knows or is related to one of them. So there was lots of trucks that turned up. And I remember a day she was telling me that even when she was at a set of traffic lights, she was about to cross the road and a truck driver pulled up, and she just climbed in his cab at the lights and said, "So you're going to dance in our video for us then?" and he ended up starring in in the video as well. So I don't once we gained the momentum, there was no way people could really turn us down, because we were just on such a high, and there was, yeah, we can do this. We can actually pull this off. We can make this happen for the region. And because as we went through as well, we got all these different, all of the workers of the region all just pulling together, along with the families and their kids and everything like that. And people just were into being in Step Up. There was never a question about it. So we were lucky with that one, because the whole project had a really nice feeling about it. There was nothing bad we were doing. We were doing it all for free. The board worked tirelessly. You can see there from the amount of times you see the pink jackets turn up. This is all people working in their spare time, giving their time for free, not taking any money for it, not getting any rewards for it. It was just to bring the whole community together. And the fact was, it was very successful. I mean, you just have to look at the smiles on people's faces and how much we're laughing throughout this back footage, which shows how much we all enjoyed ourselves. The whole project was fun, and I think that's one of the key things to the whole Step Up project. We wanted to make the whole thing fun, memorable, enjoyable, and good for families and the whole community just working together to make this happen. So my initial thing when I initially came up with the idea, I just thought, oh, we can do this in 6 months. I didn't actually realise it was going to take 2 years. That's a long time of dedicating. But you get so far, you've got no choice. There's only one way to keep going, and that's up. So this is what happened with all of the scenes. Every scene seemed to get bigger, and all the players seemed to get more important. And all of a sudden, before you know it, I've got this monster of a project on my hands that I anticipated was just going to be 6 months. Get up, go dancing around Taranaki, and here we are. Haven't we done well? But it turns out it took a lot longer than I thought. Again, a bit naive when I first started, because I really did anticipate it was going to be a lot simpler. That's why we had such a big board. The board was, as we grew through it as well, we also grew the members of the board, only because there were certain things I'd got no idea about, and the team had got no idea about. So with my background, I'm a recruiter. With my background, it was just like, right, well, I'll just go find us someone then that can help for free, and managed to talk people into helping us on the spot. And they gave their time, their knowledge, and all of their intellectual property they had about how to run things. They just brought to the table. And when we had our board meetings once a week, we'd sit there and go, right, so what are the challenges? And we'd all just sit there and talk through it, and then vote on anything. It all went with the party vote. There was, in a show of hands, there was no infighting at that stage. We just all right, who thinks this will work, who thinks it won't. Thankfully, I suppose, some of my ideas got booted, because I had some big ideas for the final scene. But there's no way the council would have let us do that, apparently. Though I thought that was a good idea at the time. I wanted a wrecking ball dumped into the lake. But anyway, taking us away from the trucks here. So the trucks, you can see there we've got trucks from basically every walk of life, every industry that they serviced. We had from the farming trucks to the cow, for transporting cows. Again, some of these you can't see in the video, which is why I'm doing this video, to try and shed some light on how much has not been seen. There's lots of unseen footage. I'd love to think at some stage that Taranaki did a display in the Len Lai Centre and showed some of these pictures and some of these videos, so that people could just rock up and see for themselves. But yeah, we had that from the oil and gas. Oil and gas is obviously a big industry here, so that's where some of the heavier trucks come in. But yeah, we certainly managed to pull off something that I haven't seen anyone else do yet. I'd love to see someone else somewhere else in the world do exactly what we did. I'm not saying it was easy. I am saying that it was very, very hard at some points. Mainly, to be honest, is it was with the bureaucracy of making sure things are signed off. You know, you crossed your T's and dotted your I's. And the health and safety factor was a major player. So thankfully, my good friend Janice, she was a health and safety lady that helped us orchestrate most of that as well, so that we were all above board and no one could get injured. That was the main thing. You can see here though, we got even all the truck drivers, if they've got children, they could bring their children on with them on the day, and the kids could drive in the cab with them, and you'll see a couple of them dotted through the video. As with most of the events that we had, there was always a sausage sizzle. This one I'd managed to talk to, I think it was a friend's grandma who lived opposite, and she had a barbecue. So we managed to, they actually turned up and lent us the barbecue for the day, so we could actually cook some sausages and keep everyone fed. All of the food, again, was donated. We had local butchers that donated food and supplies and bread and all of these things, so that everyone got fed and was kept happy during the day, which was needed on this day because it was really cold. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened there. The truck drivers at the end, I keep saying at the end of the day, the truck drivers, like all the others, like the bikers, were a very affable bunch who were easygoing. They certainly listened to Carolyn, who's a choreographer, which was quite funny. A choreographer telling a truck driver what she wanted them to do with their trucks. They were all completely au fait with that, had no problems, and they literally just got on and did the job at hand. So one of the main reasons for me compiling all of this information and doing these videos is I'd love to see people acknowledged for what they did and how they helped and supported the charity. Ultimately, like I say, the hard cash we gave to the charities was nothing in comparison to the money that was donated in kind, like with these trucks. These trucks here, I can't even put a value on it. I think that this day would have cost a fortune if you were to go and pay all these people and say, can we hire you? But obviously we were not in that position because we were a charity and we've got no money. But you just look at the money just rolling out of this car park now, and how much time and effort went into making this happen. And it would be lovely to see the people, and even these trucking companies, it'd be lovely to see them acknowledged as the locals that supported their local charity, not necessarily with a big sticker saying, bang, here you go, didn't they do well? It would be lovely to see them acknowledged in a way that only YouTube can do. Only the people of YouTube can actually help here and actually just acknowledge what these guys did for us, because what they did was amazing, and I can't thank them enough. If you'd like to see how we managed to incorporate dancing big rigs into a video, as I'm sure many of you might, please feel free to click the link in the description below to Stepup Taranaki, and also feel free to leave a comment. Positive comments are always appreciated. So thank you very much for watching and appreciate your time.